Good morning. I'm Mary Winters, the host of the show that you're watching right now, Visionary Aging. And we put the show together so that you have resources. Today, we have a fantastic guest. Her name is Janie Heinrich, and she is with mobilitydog.org. And they do incredible work training dogs to work with people with disabilities. So we're going to talk more about how they train their dogs, how they find and match people to those dogs, and just the fabulous work that they're doing. So, but first, we're going to go ahead and talk with Steve McCullough about a caregiver question. So let's see if I can find his intro. Here we go. Morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Happy
What is
Friday.
yeah, I know it's warm. It often is, but not into November most of the time. But what is our caregiver question for today?
Sure. So our caregiver question comes from one of our viewers. They mentioned that both their parents have dementia, and they want to know if they're going to get dementia too. Is that something that's handed down genetically?
It can be, but typically it depends. There are a few things where we have environmental factors and more hereditary kinds of factors. So it depends on possibly how young her parents or his parents got dementia. So we find that every decade after 70, that's usually related to some kind of health issue, usually related to some sort of normal aging process oftentimes. When somebody is diagnosed with dementia in their 60s, say, it's often genetic. So that is definitely something to consider, understand more. But there's so many factors, and we're going to talk with Melinda today too about how you can control your outside your environment and what you put into your body to prevent dementia, which is fantastic. So our heart health is super important. Maintaining our blood sugar is also really important. Anyone who has diabetes, it's really important to control those things because it actually affects our brains too. So our bodies are all connected, and sometimes we forget. We look at different systems in our bodies, but we don't think about the body as a whole. They're actually calling diabetes the type 3 dementia because so many people are being affected by their brain function being affected with diabetes too. So really important to maintain your weight. We'll go ahead and talk more with Melinda, but it's a great question. So thank you very much, viewer. You have a lot of control too over your memory and your brain health.
Excellent. Looking forward to your conversation.
Yeah. So we're going to have Janie from Mobility Dog on. Incredible nonprofit. They train dogs, mostly standard poodles, to be companions for people with disabilities. So I'm really excited to talk to her, and we'll have you back on at the end of the program. How's that?
Sounds good. A great show.
All right, thanks. Yes, Janie Heinrich is amazing. She has a marvelous nonprofit that she runs. She is the executive director of, and we want to find out more about what she's doing with mobility dogs. So we're going to have her on and see what kinds of wonderful things she can offer the community. Janie, welcome. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks so much for being on with us. I am fascinated with what you do. So tell me, how did you even start this or become part of it?
I had a spinal cord injury in 2010 and was told that I would be in a chair for life. And I said, Nope. And I was able to get out of my chair with my first service dog and remain walking and counterbalancing and just getting stronger with my second service dog, Beckett.
Wow.
And I know that when Beckett is at my side, there's nowhere that I cannot walk or roll independently and own my life and my dreams.
Oh my gosh, that's
You know,
fantastic. So we talked a little bit about this, but share with our audience, why standard poodles mostly?
So, Mobility Dog advances functional independence for people with disabilities through service dogs, education, and empowerment. And to me, a standard poodle is a dog you can have by your side as you're educating, and they're very analytical and they empower our handlers to have that confidence
Mm,
because they're such analytical dogs. And when we raise them as little puppies, we'll raise them with puppy culture for the first 8 weeks. And then they go with their puppy raisers and they're socialized and everything. And what we do, socialized and out in the world and meeting everyone. And because of their background, they walk out just like with such confidence because they've been exposed to leaf blowers and fire
mm,
engines and all these things. And when you can have a dog at a handler's side, and a handler is the person with the disability who has the dog,
mhm.
um, it just creates a very confident team. And they are less than 4% of the public who is allergic to dogs or allergic to standard
That's
rules.
right, yeah.
So when we go out in the world, we're not disrupting someone else's cadence. It seems like we can, and all service dogs are fabulous and all the breeds are tremendous. I'm not, just standard poodles are working very well for us.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a few pictures up here too so people can see the benefits that the dogs have offered, and your logo too. Why don't you also share your website and your contact information?
Yes, you can reach us at mobilitydog, singular, mobilitydog.org. And if you have any questions, please reach out to info@mobilitydog.org.
Nice. Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about, you have a culture with the dogs and the handlers. So tell me a little bit more about that.
So we do. When you have a disability, be it from an accident or a DNA coded
Mm,
disease that's progressing, life changes.
yes.
And in our Western society, we are very grateful for the doctors and all the care we get. But then when you come home, you're given a list of things that you can and can't and shouldn't do.
Mm,
And our philosophy is we're here now. This is our life, and we need to design it by our dreams. So our culture is kind of everybody living their dreams with a service dog at their side. We have 5 students who were not going to be able to go to graduate school and undergrad, but they are, and they're able to go. And some of them need to have their nurse come in the evening to help them get into bed with the final things. But
okay.
they don't have to spend the night because their service dog is there. They
Oh,
come in the morning and help them get out, get their morning started, and then all day long, it's just them and their service dog. And their service dog can get medications, open doors, get their clothes, help them undress, put clothes in the washer, pick them up and put them, they don't start the washing machine or put the quarter in yet. We haven't figured that out, but they're washing, they take them from the washer to the dryer. They're at their side. They're, if you're in a really crowded space, they're able to have a little space, create a space, go through.
oh, sure.
Incredible. If something happens that you need help, they will medical alert for you and put you in a safe spot, and then they will go and they will oof.
What does, okay, so to medical alert means they get you in a safe location and start trying to get attention drawn.
Yes, and get help for you.
And then I heard you say that they can support you with medication and so forth too. So is there a system set up where the medications are nearby and they're trained to? That is so interesting. Share a little bit more about that, because that's something in my world a lot with medication in older adults.
Right. So we have trays, and on those trays, be it in the refrigerator or in the cabinet, and they go and they get them, and they're color coded, and the dogs become a routine. And it's that consistency and training. You know,
Yes.
that from birth until 18 months, it's that consistency every day of that training that gets them to this point. We have one dog, service dog, that's just getting ready to transfer, and he would carry his puppy raisers, pack a little package of lunch every day. Glasses, pick up glasses, medication. So they go and they know the little colored package, and we'll bring them to them.
Wow.
Um, it's amazing. They also can dial 911.
Oh my gosh.
There's buttons. So what will happen if something happens, and they medical alert by
There's a fall.
putting their hand on their knee, their paw on their knee, not their hand, their paw on their knee. And then the person will sit or lay down, and then the dog will press the 911 button. The 911 button goes to 3 people, goes to 911, and it goes to 2 emergency contacts for that person.
Amazing.
And they know that it's coming from a dog. It's a recorded voice that speaks into it. And so yes, so
that's incredible. I'm so amazed. So, oh my gosh. And then there's some special training too, or you have co-parenting, but it's co-training, I think you call it, for
puppy raisers. Yes.
Yeah. So
And
tell me about that a little bit too.
Yes. So the puppy raisers get these wonderful little bouncy, confident puppies that have been, with their litter mates. They've been exposed to all these textures, sounds. So when they pick them up at 8 weeks, they're like, how sometimes you walk down the street with your dog and maybe a bag will be there and the wind will come and it'll open and your dog will go, whoa.
Yeah.
Our dog go like,
whatever.
We're good. And they take them everywhere with them. They're called service dogs in training.
Wow.
And they are allowed to go in the state of California. All except 2 states allow. They're allowed to go everywhere a service dog does, as long as they exhibit the proper behaviors and manners of a full-fledged service dog.
Nice.
So they're going out and they're learning to do all these things and exposed. We take them on trains, planes, boats, on the beach, water. I mean, anywhere you can think of. Pebble, the Royal, everywhere you can think of. Grocery shopping, doctor's offices, so that they're ready. So when they step into their handler's side, they've got it.
That's so great. So I also understand that you have quite a few handlers in Pasadena and Huntington Beach too.
Yes, we do.
So share how that kind of took place.
Just these amazing humans just wanted, they wanted more independence. They wanted functional independence. And they reached out to us, and we go through a vetting process. It takes about 4 months. And then once we go through the vetting process, they start joining our community. We meet the first Saturday of every month. Once you're a member of our community, once you're not a member, once you're a part of it, we don't have any memberships. But once you're a part of it, you come and join us the first Saturday of every month, and we do training. Because the old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it,
Sure.
is very true. It's true with service dogs. It's true with their own bodies. And it's so important that, even if all you can do is move one finger, you move that one finger every day. And you get that blood flowing and you treat the whole body,
Yes.
not just that little part that's not working right.
Right, right.
And so we meet and we talk about all these things, and we train our dogs on the first Saturday, and then we meet every Tuesday via Zoom for an hour, and we talk about ADA law. We talk about health and wellness, how important what we put in our mouths, how it affects
Yeah,
Everything.
we'll hear from Melinda about that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so important to realize that how important and to normalize who and what we are. And it's just, it's just it just is, and we need to accept that and realize that we're all in this together.
That's fantastic. And I know you just had Poodle Pelosi.
Palooza.
There you go. A little tongue twister.
Yeah.
That's a fundraiser for the year, but you have a 6th anniversary coming up in February. It'll be here before you know it, right?
Yes, it will. It's happening so quickly. But we have this everything we do is volunteer. We have an amazing board, and we're always looking for board members. So anybody out there that wants to join us on the board, we love our volunteers. We're going to be moving into a little bungalow on Grand at the Western Justice Center in
Fantastic.
January, and we'll be surrounded by a lot of other nonprofits. We bring money in through grants and foundational grants and donations. Everything we do is, we have no overhead for. We don't pay anyone. All the people.
Wow.
All of our volunteers carry the load, and it's been phenomenal. Just an amazing group of people.
Incredible. Of course, dog lovers are great people, right?
They are. They're so full of love, and we have mentorship programs that we're just beginning with our service dog trainer for the local students, and we are going towards building our center of excellence and wellness garden.
Oh,
I could be in Pasadena along the Gold Line.
Oh, great.
Or along the Blue Line in LA, but we want to stay close. And yes, we have people in Orange and in Los Angeles, and it's just been wonderful. They come up here every other week, and we go there every other week, and we meet for field trips.
Okay.
And really a community.
It sounds, and that's so important to people, have that connection and community, and know that it's not just them alone. It's wonderful to know Janie, but it's a bigger community where there are lots of people that they can really connect to and socialize with. Socialization is so important, period. And we've lost so much of that through COVID. And I think we're still trying to go uphill, tread up the hill to make sure that we're doing things with others. And so I'm so glad to hear that you're doing that. Janie, tell us the name of your organization again, and we have the information down below, but go ahead and say how people can get a hold of you too.
Okay. It's mobilitydog.org, and you can also write us at info@mobilitydog.org. And I just wanted to say that it's so important. We have so many people, when everything changes, they become alone. And it's nice to be with people that understand when you say, unbelievable. I went to dinner last night, and they told me the entrance was around the back. So I went down a dark alley. There were a couple potholes that my chair got stuck in, or now my feet are wet. And I got to the back ramp, and they were so proud to have it. And they said to me, are you sure you need it? Because I have to move all these boxes.
Oh, God.
It's like, yes, I do. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you've got such a great attitude.
And you get in time just at the end of appetizers with the rest of your group. And we just want to bring awareness. We have WAGs, and we have paws that empower, that we take to local businesses and local schools to educate.
Good.
So, we're here to answer any questions, and we'd love to have you a part of us, and we're looking for those puppy raisers.
Nice. Wonderful. Well, great. Get a hold of Janie. Go ahead and reach out to mobilitydog.org. Get your questions answered. If you want to volunteer, it's a great way to put your heart in a wonderful place. So, Janie, thank you so much. And are you going to be able to stay on with us and to the very end? Come back?
I will. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate this opportunity to share.
Absolutely.
You're doing wonderful work. Thank you.
You do wonderful work. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we'll see you in a few minutes. We'll bring Melinda up too. So we'll see you in just a few. So yeah, we're going to have Melinda on, and we're going to talk about brain health.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, wasn't that what a fabulous nonprofit organization. And she has so much energy, positive energy. It's wonderful.
I just think that animals are so healing anyway. You know, just in addition to how those dogs are trained,
Yeah,
having that companion must be really, really supportive.
invaluable, absolutely
Yeah.
invaluable. So, yeah, and just knowing too about what we can do for ourselves to stay brain healthy. Um,
Yeah.
your question
Some
was great from our viewer this morning.
That was, yeah, that was amazing. Some of the things that we can, diet, nutrition is always like a big factor when we think about reducing our risk for developing something like dementia or keeping our brain nice and healthy. That comes down to, like, first and foremost, increasing our consumption of antioxidants. So that's when we want to
Mm,
choose all those colorful fruits and vegetables,
yeah,
berries, leafy greens, even citrus fruits, and those type of foods really protect our brain cells. It's kind of funny because it is the very simple stuff that our parents told us when we were kids. You've got to eat your fruits and vegetables
yeah,
that really protect our brain cells. The Mediterranean style diet is fantastic for brain health. The Mediterranean diet is rich in olive oil.
mhm,
There's a lot of fish, nuts, whole grains, and all of those type of foods in the Mediterranean diet have been associated with a lower risk of dementia. Um, Omega-3 fatty acids are really good. So if you
yeah,
like salmon,
yeah,
then that's something to include into your diet.
nice.
And then it's about limiting the things that aren't great for our brain. So limiting the saturated and trans fats. On my recent trip when I was gone, I learned that trans fats are actually illegal now in Europe.
Really? Now,
Yeah.
describe what a trans fat is from a regular, um,
It's the way
healthy
that,
fat.
yeah, it's the way that the fat is processed, and trans fats, because of the way that they're processed, their molecular composition creates free radicals in your body.
Ugh,
So one of the, like the big thing about eating antioxidant foods are because antioxidant foods neutralize the free radicals that are in your body. And living in, our environment, in our world, there's a certain amount of free radicals, created in the body, but they're
mhm.
not good. They rip up our healthy cells. So trans fats actually, the way that they're molecularly composed, they create the maximum number of free radicals in your body by ripping up your healthy cells. So they're incredibly destructive to our health. And trans fats are created through the different processing, you know, uh, procedures to make certain um, processed foods. So it's
Yes.
really avoiding those processed foods as much as possible. If
So
you're
Mediterranean diet doesn't have flaming hot Cheetos in it, right?
No, I think that's I think that's not on the list. And this is all about balance too. So if
Yes.
flaming hot Cheetos are like the most important, they're your most favorite thing ever, there is a space to enjoy those responsibly with
There we go.
balance.
Responsible Cheeto eating.
Yeah, responsible Cheeto eating. And when we are consuming a lot of antioxidant rich foods,
Uh-huh.
when we do consume those Cheetos, there's something there to neutralize those free radicals. We're actually providing our body with the ammunition, for lack of the better word, to combat the effects of the negative foods we eat. So that's where that balance needs to come in, and it needs to be skewed heavily towards the antioxidants and the healthy food. And that's when we have that ability, that room to enjoy those foods that we really, really love that we know aren't healthy for us.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to show our Shape Up 7.
Yeah,
Shape Up Your
please.
Longevity 7. It's an acronym for the things that we know really support longevity. So these are other things that will help your brain health, your spiritual community. What do you have? What do you surrender to? Do you have a higher power? Who is your God? Who is your community? Your healthy life balance. Are you looking at all your appointments that you need? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you laughing enough? And what is your attitude? And who are the people that influence you in your life? And what kind of physical activity are you getting? What are you doing as far as your eating habits? And who are you staying close to? That social connection is so, so important. We talked about that with Janie a little bit earlier. And what is your purpose in life? Those things also help to support you mentally and emotionally and create that balance that we need to really support the environmental elements of our brain health too. So we have a
Exactly.
program on that. And if you want to go to our website about seniorsolutions.com and sign up for any other information, we have a great lifestyle guide that's coming out before the end of the year. So watch out for that. But I love the food items, and I agree with you. There's responsible Cheeto eating. And I also call it from good to better to best. So if you ate
Yeah.
Cheetos every day, can you do a little bit better by having fewer Cheetos and getting into a path where you are enhancing that with
Yeah, we do that at the strength shop with trans fats, because trans fats are found in fried foods a lot. So if we have somebody come in that eats French fries in their diet, you can easily take a potato, cut it into wedges, and slide it into the oven and bake it for 350 for 30 minutes or something, and you've got French fries that don't have trans fats.
Nice.
So and even better if you use a sweet potato, because sweet potatoes are so healthy. And then you make the sweet potato fries in the oven, you don't have that fried food element with all of the trans fats. So
Nice.
and then just avoiding sugar, staying hydrated, avoiding alcohol.
Yes.
And consuming turmeric is actually really healthy for the brain.
Yes,
So
it is.
that's when you go for the turmeric latte.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. What a great
Avoid the
idea.
processed foods. Swap out the alcohol for a turmeric latte.
What do they call it? Is it called a
Golden milk,
golden milk?
usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really tasty, actually. Well,
Yeah.
thank you
And
so
then
much for those points. Amazing. We're going to bring Steve back on. And I want to also talk about the fact that we have our butterfly release coming up November
Yes.
11th. So let me show you. It's so cool because we have more and more butterflies coming up onto our windows.
Nice.
And I think we'll have this completely filled and going into other windows of our office because we have about another 30 coming. So please, please, please go onto the website. We have something. It'll be right there when you go into our website about seniorsolutions.com. And if you want to honor one of your loved ones, and we will put your name and their name on a butterfly, as you see on our windows right here. And then we're going to go ahead and release a bunch of butterflies. This is amazing. This is the migration of monarch butterflies they start in Canada all over our country and migrate down into Mexico. Absolutely incredible. It's a phenomenon that takes place every single year. So we're going to have our little release of butterflies, live butterflies. You can get your paper butterfly, but we'll have live butterflies that we will release on November 11th at our local park near our office on Veterans Day. So I'm very, very excited about that. And let's go ahead. We're going to bring Janie back too, and we'll talk a little bit about next day in sports, or what's happening in sports. Hey, Janie.
Hi. Thank
Hi,
you.
Janie, loved your presentation.
Thank you. And I enjoyed, I've never heard responsible eating and flaming Cheetos in the same sentence. Our 3 sons, Jonathan, Jared, and Joel, absolutely love you. I can tell you that right now.
Great. That's wonderful. So how about our day in sports? Do we have a special day in sports today?
Sure. So the year was 2007. The location was South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame Stadium. And on this day in 2007, Notre Dame played the Navy Shipmen. The Navy Shipmen ended a 43-game losing streak against the Fighting Irish. The last time Navy beat Notre Dame was 1963. Roger Staubach was the quarterback of Navy. He was the Heisman Trophy winner that year. Went on to star for the Dallas Cowboys. But for 43 years, Navy came up short against Notre Dame, usually by a pretty wide margin. And on this day in 2007, they beat them in triple overtime. Key point of the game, late in the fourth quarter, Notre Dame had the ball at the 24-yard line of Navy and had a chance to kick a field goal, but instead opted to go for a first down on a fourth down play and try and get closer to make it an easier field goal. They were sacked, and the game went into overtime. And Navy, as they say, it's all history. They were able to upset the Irish. The Irish finished 1-8, or they were 1-7 at that time, which was very atypical for a Notre Dame team.
Awesome. Amazing. And I don't know, they've had very many Heisman Award winners from the Navy. So quite an interesting piece of history there. So let me quickly show you our perk. You can get this for free. Ginny will get it out to you. Today is National Sandwich Day, and due to the inclement weather, the sandwich shop wrapped up early Tuesday night. So that's the pun that we have in there. But it's a great little conversation starter. We also have our word search on the back too. This is completely free, and would love for you to take advantage of that by just contacting us. And Ginny, reach out to Ginny, Ginny, at aboutsenioursolutions.com, and you can get that for free as long as you want and send it out to whoever you want for as long as you want, and enjoy and have fun with the grandkids or kids, and great little conversation starters. So, and fun little things in history too. So anyway, everyone, have a fantastic
weekend.
Melinda. Yeah, bless you, Melinda.
Thank you.
Keep your caregiver questions coming too.
Yes, keep your caregiver questions, and they should send those to info@aboutsenioursolutions.com. And Steve will bring those to the program and get them answered. So have a fantastic weekend, everyone. And
Bless you again, Melinda.
We will see you next week.
Have a good weekend.
All right. Let me see. I wonder if I might have even gotten rid of, I wonder if I lost our, oh, here it is. Here's our extra. All right. Talk to you later. Thanks.